this video, I will demonstrate how CABAM can be used to identify outlier transactions. Why do we do this? Well, there could be finger trouble that hasn't been picked up yet, or there could be fraudulent transactions that CABAM will help you identify, or there could be shifts in customer behavior which has gone unnoticed to date. So let's take a scenario. I've got the 1st of January to the 31st of January, and I've made various payments to suppliers between $0 and $100. Now, the average amount that we've paid is $45, and we say anything above $80 would constitute an outlier. So we set the threshold at $80, and in this case, CABAM will pick up that this transaction, this purple transaction, is perhaps an outlier and it needs to be investigated. Now, as a user, you can raise that. You can raise that line, or you can reduce it. If I reduced it down to $50 as the threshold, then CABAM would pick up that amber transaction. And this allows you to then follow up and investigate these outliers to make sure that everything is in order. Let's have a look at this in a little bit more detail. So in front of me, I've got a transaction file with payments made to suppliers. There's a supplier code, the transaction date, and the amount that I paid to each supplier per transaction. So I want to know the outliers in terms of value as well as frequency. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through to CABAM and set up a new test, check outlier payments to suppliers. And what I can do is tell it to point at the amount that was paid. And then we've got percentile, 5th percentile, 95th percentile. You want to make sure you're between those two from a value point of view, as well as the frequency, how often these transactions occur. And then I will say the date field is the transaction date, for instance. And do I want to look at this in weekly or monthly or annual buckets? Well, in this case, it's every single transaction. I want to look for outliers. So once I've done that, I'm going to go through to the dashboard and have a look at procure to pay suppliers, and check outlier payments to suppliers. Well, I've got 9 failures on 33 records tested, which isn't very good. So I'm going to go through to the details and check where my errors are coming from. So I'll see exactly which suppliers are errors. And then I can see amount less than the expected amount of 9502. So I paid less than what was expected, versus the transaction above it where it says amount is more than the expected amount of 10,247.69. So we paid 11, and in the past we should have only paid up to about 10,200.